October now, so obviously scary movie season's on the brain, and I always remember your classic episode of the Twilight Zone, Nightmare at 20,000 Feet, which is just a wonderful half hour of television. And what's so great about that show from your performance standpoint, you're such a physical actor, but that episode demands that you stay seated for so much of it. Was that a challenge for you, sort of playing that out?
No, not really. I mean, the filming is all about sitting around for hours and then rushing. No, the sitting. What was amusing, of course, was that the Czechoslovakian acrobat, who was in a little furry suit on the outside of on the wing of a 707 or whatever it was. There were times I looked at it and I thought, this may be the worst thing I've ever done. But I was so filled with gratitude that I was being paid and I could pay my bills, whatever that was with 3 kids, that I was grateful to be being at work, and so the fact that it might be beyond laughable, it never occurred to me.
Richard Donner directed that episode. He went on to make The Omen and things like that. What was some of the direction he gave you? Do you remember working with him and getting in that performance?
I have no memory of that. But he was very young, as I was, and I think directing, why don't you say that louder or faster? I don't think that occurred to anybody. I think what was occurring to people was, get the shot before the sun sets.
When you open the window in that episode and you're hanging outside of the airplane,
yes.
was that a memorable moment? Did you seem like you really threw yourself into that moment in particular?
Well, stunts. I've done a lot of stunts and I've taken terrible risks. Putting myself out the window is nothing, but sometimes I've done foolish things and I don't know why. I don't know what I'm proving to myself or anybody else, but it just never occurs to me that I'm going to get hurt. Because the stuntmen get hurt. I don't get hurt. And that's crazy, isn't it? But that's followed me through everything. On a movie, if it's dangerous, the stuntman does it.
Oh, my God, it's out there!
Why do you think that Twilight Zone it's been parodied so often? It's people talk about what is it about that episode that really scares you?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I guess it applies to our fear of flying. On the other hand, I don't. Modern day, you get into a capsule, and you look out the window, and the ground goes past you, and then you're into the sky, and nothing's going past you, and then you start to land, you bump a little, and then you land, and it's over. It's like, it's like a car ride or a canoe. My daughter has a phobia of flying. Why is she? Where did that phobia come from? So there are people who are fearful of flying when there's really no reason. You can get into a storm and have a really bad experience, but that's very rare. In all the many years of flying that I've done, I may have had a lightning strike. There was a large bang and a couple of shifts around but nothing approaching the I'm going to die fear. In any case, yes, I think that's what the show probably fastens onto, our fear of flying.
Do you sometimes still check for gremlins when you're on a plane and you look out on the
We used to play that game with my kids. They'd bring the hostess over and I'd be looking at the window and I'd turn, and everybody would roar with laughter. Yeah.